Welcome, everybody. Today we're going to finish talking about some of the newer studies in science done on AFA microalgae. The last two presentations, we learned some of the amazing studies on the benefits of using AFA algae, and this week we're going to continue with more great news about AFA benefits. First, I'm going to talk about 3 studies that find benefits with using AFA for ADHD and learning disabilities. The first study was done in 1997, so that's not as recent. 109 children completed the studies, about half and half girls and boys. The test instruments were the Achenbach Child Behavior List and the Teacher Report Form. These are well-respected test instruments that have high validity and reliability, and they have been used in several national studies for children. Parents reported highly significant improvement in their children's move and behavior on 10 out of 11 measures, and significant improvement on the 11th measure. I want to explain, highly significant is actually a scientific term when you're talking about a study, a scientific study. Highly significant means that more than 90% of the applicants had a greater than 90% benefit. So it's quite rare to get a highly significant improvement in this type of study. And a significant improvement means that more than 80% had a better than 80% change. So this is quite significant that the majority of these children had extremely significant benefits. And when you consider a test for a drug, they are happy with benefits in 30 to 40% of the test subjects. The second study was done in 2001. Again, this one is also not quite so recent. This is a 3-month double-blind study with 26 children with learning disabilities. They were given either no AFA, 1.5 grams of AFA, or up to 3 grams of AFA. There were significant improvements by the children who consumed the AFA algae, even with amounts as low as 1.5 grams a day. Significant behavioral improvements on the Connors parent and teacher rating scales, a 40% improvement on their mean score of memory recall, a 20% improvement on their mean scores of concentration, and a dramatic increase in their tutorial classroom attendance records, coupled with an overall reduced amount of physical symptoms and complaints. So this is a whole body response, not just the brain, which would be the memory and the concentration, but also in behavior and other physical issues that may occur. A lot of people don't really understand when you have a learning disability or a brain function issue, your body compensates and has to compensate for the fact that your mind is utilizing a great deal of your body's vitality simply to respond to its environment. And this can lead to quite a lot of physical issues, stomach aches, headaches, and then of course a lack of concentration. But those physical complaints are real, and they are a side effect of the brain dysfunction. The last study was done in 2017, so this is the most recent one. There were 30 subjects aged 6 to 15 who had been diagnosed with ADHD according to the DSM-4 TR criteria. So this is the legal criteria for ADHD. After 6 months of therapy, which is with AFA, the subjects showed significant improvement in the assessments of their overall functioning, behavioral aspects related to inattention and hyperactivity impulsivity, attention functions in both the selective and sustained component, and executive functions. So what does that mean? Attention functions in the selective means you're able to concentrate on a specific task in the moment. A attention function in the sustained component means you're able to stay on task over a certain time period, maybe over a class, or maybe even over a week if you're doing a project. And then a benefit in your executive function means that you're making better choices. You are able to more clearly think through perhaps what your choices are and what your potential side effects will be if you make a poor choice. So to have a better executive function is huge for kids with ADHD, that is one of the side effects of ADHD that's very difficult for the child and the parent and the teacher, when a child is unable to think clearly about their choices. So an improvement in your executive function makes a big difference in your socialization. Blue-green algae protects the brain. Dr. Paula Bickford with the Center of Excellence of Aging and Brain Repair at the University of South Florida found that blue-green algae reduced damage from strokes by 70%, restored better function in aging brains, promoted neurogenesis, enhancing brain stem cell production, and promoted neuroprotection for brain cells from oxidative stress. And lastly, it improved dopamine production in Parkinson's disease models. So this again is a constellation of benefits. The stroke damage is reduced, the function is increased in aging brains. Neurogenesis means your brain is actually rejuvenating itself, and when you've had a traumatic brain injury or a stroke, that rejuvenation makes the difference between your ability to resolve and resume your life versus having a very different kind of life after such an incident. And then neuroprotection for brain cells from oxidative stress, that does have to do with a lot of chronic diseases as well as aging. Oxidative stress is why our brains age, almost above and beyond any other reason that there is out there. AFA, algae, supports red blood cytokine effects. So I'm going to explain what this means. A cytokine is a chemical reaction that occurs. It's a chemical your body produces to protect itself. And cytokines, there's many hundreds or perhaps thousands of kinds of cytokines. Red blood cytokines are there to protect your blood health. AFA works via upregulation of the EPO-R, which is a type of cytokine system. This is absolutely cutting edge information because this system is only just now being studied for its potential effects on health. These potential benefits include supporting your central nervous system homeostasis, multiple brain health benefits, and better neurotransmission. Studies show that EPO cytokines have beneficial effects for traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, hypoxia, which means your brain has gone without oxygen, and ischemic stroke. So cytokines help your brain recover from the stress of traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, hypoxia, and ischemic stroke. And AFA supports the production of these cytokines that help your brain. AFA helps reduce the symptoms of menopause. Italian researchers found significant physical and emotional benefits, including less hot flashes, less irritability, less headaches, less depression and mood swings. These are all major issues that women deal with when they go through menopause. And you'll see there's a whole list of side effects that are associated with menopause that are very real, have to do with your hormones moving up and down and up and down. So AFA algae helps these side effects. For more science, check out earthsfirstfoods.com.